Right, guys, deadline day is coming. We've just got a few days until it all comes to an end. There's so much going on, so we want to go into a more in-depth tactical analysis of some of the transfers that are going to be happening. This time I'm with Andy Brassell, respected journalist and all-round sensei of knowledge in football.
Are you pinching his word there?
Yeah, well, I gave you that word, which is in there. And Andy's actually done a chat with Nicky on West Ham Fan TV talking about the West Ham transfers that might be happening. But we wanted to sort of move it forward and see how it would affect the team. Before we go into it, just got to say, guys, go and check out the best 3 players in the EPL video on the Ball Street channel, because you could win a Premier League shirt. Go there, make sure you subscribe to the Ball Street channel, leave your top 3 players in the Premier League right this second, and you could win a Premier League shirt. But anyway, let's get into it. So, what we've done is Nicky's picked his FA Cup final. Everyone's fit.
No restrictions.
No restrictions. Yep. Beautiful 11. And we're going to talk about how you might be able to improve that in the January transfer window. So off you go, Nicky. Tell us your team.
Can I pick up my pen?
Pick up your weapons,
right.
yeah. Off you go.
Right. No brainer. Adrian goes in goal. One of the best goalkeepers that we've had there for a long, long time. Cresswell picks himself. There's no other left back. Reed and O'Connor. I've gone for Reed and O'Connor over Collins because I feel they give it a little bit more pace. They work well together. Really good 2 centre backs. I think O'Connor's been a bit of a steal. Everton fans won't agree. Tompkins, because Jenkinson's had a bit of a nightmare this season. He doesn't look interested. I know we've just got Sam Byram in, but a little bit of inexperience. He's played there all season. He played well. I think it'd only be fair to give Tompkins the shout there. Kouyaté and Song. People are going to be upset with me that I haven't picked Noble, but I feel these two would work brilliantly together. We haven't seen a lot of them together, but when we did see them on Saturday, I thought they was absolutely excellent. I thought they
Very strong.
Bossed the midfield, Song especially. I think he gives you that sort of class that Noble doesn't. Picks himself. Payet picks himself. There's no other man to be put in there. This is where it gets a bit more tricky because we've got a lot of options up here, which I don't feel are very good options. Like Moses and Antonio's a good option, but I don't think Moses has been pulling his weight this season. I would quite happily leave him out of the squad, let alone the team. Right. Valencia, I feel he's really coming into his own, come back from injury, scored a few goals now. He can do things that can win you games at the end of the day. Maybe not that great at sort of getting up and down the line, but he will definitely be an attacking threat. This is the guy that I don't want to leave out, but I could leave out, is Lanzini. Lanzini is absolutely excellent. He's only second to Dimitri Payet in terms of, like, if he don't get runner-up Hammer of the Year, I'll be very surprised. But he's not a natural winger. If Payet wasn't around, he'd be playing inside. But, he's got to be in the team. And Sakho, last of all, Sakho, just because he gives you that more industry, across the line. And that's my team. That's what I'll pick.
So I guess therein lies the problem, because you've got someone up front there who's injured, Valencia who's had problems with injury, Payet's been out for a bit, Lanzini's been out for a little bit. So I think it's a case of maybe a lack of strength in depth for you guys. So what are the sort of areas where in the January transfer window you'd like to improve?
Well, first of all, I would get another left back. Yeah, I would, because I won't put him over Cresswell, whoever it was, because I think Cresswell's excellent. But just because we need cover there. But the main things we need to do is sort out this forward line, because of all these injuries. We've really struggled up there over the last few months. We ground out a lot of results. Our defence, luckily, have stayed quite fit. But, all of these guys at one point have been out for long term. So, and Carroll, who isn't on the board, also as well. So it leaves us very short up here.
So some of the players that you've been linked with, they've kind of come from where Billic came from Turkey. He was there at Besiktas, and they've been linked with a few players there that might be able to sort of change the team and improve them.
That's
What do you think about some of those links?
Well, people talk about Turkey being out of the way, but I think the interesting thing in terms of transporting players to the Premier League, it's a very physical league, where defenders get away with pretty much anything. So they'll be ready for the sort of attention that they'll get from Premier League defenders. Of course, the top target that's been mentioned as a centre forward is a very interesting one, and one that looks like it will be very cheap as well. Burak Yilmaz, Turkish international, of course, plays for Galatasaray. and he's been mentioned with a price tag of approximately £5 million. Now, that would be a steal. He's got an incredible goal-scoring record in the Super League, and he's also scored goals at Champions League level. Now, he's 6'2", but don't be fooled. He's not the sort of guy who's going to hold up the ball lots. What the sort of player he is one that makes very good runs off the shoulder of defenders. He can hold the ball up a little bit, but that's not his main game. He developed that a little bit when he had to work with Didier Drogba. Playing with Wesley Sneijder brought him on as well. He's going to get great 1- and 2-touch relationship going with Payet. There's no doubt about that.
For you, Nicky, what's more important for your centre forward when you've got players like Payet and Lanzini? Do you want that kind of hold-up man that Carroll is, who brings these other people into play, or do you want someone who's going to stretch it?
No, I think that someone like Yilmaz, if he's running off the shoulders of the defenders, I think that's what we've been lacking a bit this season. Sakho does that to an extent, but he's not the greatest. He's not had the greatest seasons. The only reason I put Sakho up there is because he gives you a lot of industry. Apart from him, there isn't a lot of option. You've got Carroll's a battering ram, Jelavic who's a battering ram, Zarati's just left. Apart from Valencia who played there, but played there very well. You need a natural finisher. You need someone running off the shoulders.
So is Yilmaz a starter for you if he goes to West Ham?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. He's in good form already this season, so there shouldn't be any real break in rhythm. And the sort of service he's going to get, I think, is pretty self-explanatory.
What about wingers then? Nicky's looking for a winger possibly.
Well, interesting. I think one out of left field who's not been mentioned anywhere and who is in the market. What's the winger factory in Europe? You know the answer to that, don't you? It's Sporting. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Of course it is.
Cristiano Ronaldo, Figo, Nani, they all come from there. Going back to Simao, in fact.
Do I smell an Andy's alternative coming in?
You do. There's one on the market at the moment, and it's this man, Carlos Mane. Star for the Portuguese under-21s. Looks like he might be on the way to Hamburg, but he's available on a loan until the end of the season, and then they could make it permanent for a fee of about £8 million. I think that's quite an interesting one. Very much would suit the West Ham style. He comes from a really good footballing background, very, very technically sound, and really quick as well.
And finally, as we're sort of making up this perfect 11 that's going to win you the FA Cup, Nicky, left back, you've got Cresswell there, who's been one of your star performers.
Yep,
a lot of assists for you, been fantastic. But he's your only left back, so they need a bit of cover there. Andy, can you help us out?
Yeah, absolutely. And one that's on the market at the moment, with just 6 months left on his contract, is this man, Cameroonian international Henri Bedimo, who plays for Lyon. A lot of Premier League clubs keen on him already. West Brom interested. The really good thing about Bedimo is he's an attacking fullback. He plays a lot of football in the opposition half. You were talking about Lanzini not being a natural winner. That's the thing with Cresswell, isn't it? When he makes the runs, it means Lanzini can drop inside. Yeah. Bedimo would provide the same sort of thing. Very physically strong as well, good at getting up and down the pitch.
Well, there you go, Nicky. Happy? Get those three, you're done.
Yeah, I'd still keep Cresswell in there. Can I put him back in?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, no, it's very kind of you.
I'd still keep Cresswell in there because I feel, although I don't know a lot about Bedimo, sorry Andy.
Cresswell has to be first pick, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I would keep him, but I'm very happy to sort of look at alternatives for
the right wing up front.
For Valencia and a striker, someone that's going to stay fit and actually score some goals, because although they've chipped in with a couple, there's not been a lot of goals coming from the forwards. It's been coming mostly from this man and from the midfield, so.
Right. Well, there you go, guys. West Ham fans, let us know in the comments below. Do you agree with Nicky's team? Do you think these players would help the team? Should Yilmaz be playing in front of someone like Sakho? Should Antonio be playing? Let us know in the comments below. And please, please, please subscribe to the Ball Street channel, because Deadline Day Social is going to be on the Ball Street channel all day on the 1st of February. It's going to be chaos, to be honest. Andy's going to be there. Nicky's going to be there. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. There'll be forfeits. There'll be games. There'll also be the breaking news. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe to the Ball Street channel. And also, if you want to win that Premier League shirt, go to the top 3 players in the EPL Today video now. Go leave a comment on your top 3 players and you could win a Premier League shirt.
Well, you could be in with a shout of winning your choice of Premier League shirt.